Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're taking a really close look at a pitch deck that literally wants to rewrite the global skyline. Now, what's the big idea here? Transforming the sleek glass facades of the world's most famous skyscrapers into massive, transparent digital billboards. We are diving into the pitch deck for OTTIMEDIA, and let me tell you, it is a remarkably bold one. So let's just jump right into this and objectively unpack exactly what they're presenting to investors and commercial real estate owners.
Okay, real quick, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The $8 billion vision. 2. The technological moat. 3. The advertising economics. 4. The cash flow engine. 5. Building the ecosystem. And 6. The unicorn trajectory.
All right, starting with Section 1, the $8 billion vision.
To really wrap your head around this pitch, you've got to understand the sheer audacious scale of what they're proposing. When we think of outdoor advertising right now, we usually picture the clustered, kind of chaotic glow of Times Square or Piccadilly Circus, right? Legacy screens physically bolted onto older buildings. Well, OTTIMEDIA wants to activate the global skyline itself. They are pitching a future where the beautiful glass facades of modern office towers in your city actually become high-yield media infrastructure.
And according to the deck, if they can execute this global rollout, they're targeting a 5-year company valuation of $8 billion. $8 billion! It's a truly staggering number, but it immediately sets the stakes for the rest of this pitch.
Moving on to Section 2, the technological moat.
Look, to justify an $8 billion target, you need a seriously impressive technological advantage. I mean, how do you turn an office building into a giant TV screen without plunging all the workers inside into total darkness? Well, the pitch relies on ultra-thin, smart LED displays that mount right to the exterior. But here's the crucial part. There is seamless natural light penetration. From the inside, tenants have zero visual obstruction. They can literally look right out the window as usual, while the outside of the building is broadcasting globally.
So the magic bullet here is what they call the transparent LED video wall. The deck defines these as massive installations. We're talking anywhere from 500 to over 5,000 square meters. They're high-resolution, ultra-thin screens that do two things at once. They fire intensely bright light outward to display the ads, but they're transparent enough to let sunlight pass freely into the building's interior.
Now, to protect this tech from copycats, because obviously people would try to copy this, they've outlined what they call their 3 monopoly pillars. First, they claim a 100% acquisition of the actual manufacturer making these specific video walls. Second, they're locking down the tech with 3 exclusive patents held by Nikola Tesla. And third, they've got a proprietary app that lets them update ads across hundreds of screens worldwide with just a single click. So they're arguing that these 3 pillars basically build an impenetrable moat around the entire business.
Let's look at Section 3, the advertising economics.
Great tech is cool, but it only matters if it makes business sense, right? This is where the deck makes its most aggressive financial argument. They compare their model directly to legacy Prime Digital. So think of a Prime Google Ads spot in New York. The deck notes that a massive Times Square ad can easily cost $2 million for just 1 month. Audio media? They claim they're going to charge between $200,000 and $500,000 for an entire year. Let that sink in. That breaks down to roughly 17 grand a month. They're claiming this is 120 times more cost-effective. Plus, legacy screens take weeks to deploy, whereas audio media says they can push real-time, daily updates instantly.
Which brings us to Section 4, the cash flow engine.
So, you're probably wondering, if they are undercutting the market that drastically, how on earth do they fund outfitting skyscrapers with thousands of square meters of LEDs? The deck outlines a 4-step, what they call exponential cash flow cycle. Step 1 is kind of the secret sauce here, an upfront capital injection. Advertisers have to pay for their entire year of advertising in advance, within 7 days of the campaign starting. Step 2, immediate amortization. Because of that massive influx of upfront cash, the physical hardware costs of the screens are paid off in a matter of weeks. Step 3 generates what they label a massive yield, projecting $10 million to $30 million in revenue per facade. And Step 4 is zero debt expansion. They just instantly roll those rapid profits right into deploying the next screen on the next building.
All right, Section 5, building the ecosystem. To keep that zero debt expansion machine humming, they need buildings, and they need a lot of them. So they've structured some highly specific incentives to get building owners and real estate brokers on board. For commercial real estate owners, OTTIMEDIA is offering a base rental of at least 200 grand per facade per year.
plus another 200 grand in free advertising space for themselves, and a 20% commission if they refer other ad clients. Now for the brokers, the gatekeepers, the carrot is huge. They get a $40,000 commission for every single facade they secure. So if a broker locks down a 4-facade tower, boom, that's a $160,000 commission. Plus, they get options to become an OTTIMEDIA branch manager. They are aggressively trying to make it extremely profitable for the real estate industry to fuel their expansion.
Finally, Section 6, the unicorn trajectory.
Okay, so where does all of this actually lead? If we look at their year-one global economics, the projections are remarkably steep. They are targeting a rollout of just 30 office tower facades worldwide in their very first year. Based on that, they project a minimum global revenue of $180 million. And on the high end, if they maximize their advertiser capacity, they are projecting up to $900 million in revenue within the first 12 months. According to the deck, this incredibly fast short-term profit model is exactly what drives their claim of a $2 billion valuation within year one.
And as you'll see here, this hockey stick growth curve is built on rapid scaling. They plan to launch the project in June 2026. They aim to hit that $2 billion valuation in year one, and then just scale steadily by adding 30 new facades every single year. The goal is that by year 5, they'll have total market dominance, a ubiquitous global media network, and, of course, that ultimate target, an $8 billion valuation.
Which brings us to the actual ask. What do they want from the stakeholders reading this presentation? Well, the opportunity on the table is to secure a 1% minority stake in the company for $350,000. They do note this is discounted from an initial $420,000 valuation. They're making up to 24% of the company available under these exact terms. But there's a catch. They've placed a strict deadline on the offer. It is valid only until the end of June 2026.
So, we've impartially unpacked the mechanics of this incredibly ambitious presentation today. From that transparent LED technology to the aggressive upfront cash flow model that fuels it. It's absolutely undeniable that transforming the world's skyscrapers into a centrally managed, multi-billion-dollar digital broadcast network is a monumental undertaking. It leaves us with one final question to consider. Will audio media successfully navigate the ultra-complex worlds of commercial real estate and global advertising to literally rewrite the skyline? Or is an $8 billion valuation based on this model simply pitching too high in the clouds? Take away the facts we've explored today and decide for yourself. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.